Okay, it's all dry and it's all stuck quite firmly to the canvas. If there's any loose bits, they'll actually get glued in by the acrylic paint, so just paint over the top of it. So I'm going to start with the foliage brush, some white, some yellow ochre, and start to paint onto the canvas, the wall. So just dab that on there, white, some raw sienna, bring that down, let's change it to a pinky colour, make it a little bit prettier. So just paint over the eggshells. And you can see all this texture appearing, thick paint. Don't dilute it with water. There's the lintel across the door. Now this is going to be a climbing rose, so I don't have to worry too much about what's going on underneath. So just block out the white, and by putting a layer of paint over the eggshells, it helps to seal the whole thing in. So quickly paint over that. Squeeze the water out of the brush, and for the gravel at the front here, a light colour. So white with some yellow ochre, a slightly darker colour. Let's go for this is burnt sienna, touch of crimson, some blue, cobalt blue, just paint over the top of the black lava. With the large detail brush. Now with some tissue, get rid of some of the moisture, and raw sienna and some white. So this will be the top of the step. Burnt umber. Same colour there. For the door, white, some cobalt blue, and a touch of pale olive green. So it's a light greenish colour. Paint over the texture paste. Some blue. Bring that down to the bottom of the door. Then with the medium detail brush, slightly darker colour, so stronger mix of cobalt blue and the pale olive green. And I'm just going to drag the brush over the surface, just to give it a very rustic texture. Just add those dark colours. Now, large brush. Start with the dark colour first. Hooker's green and some olive green. I'm going to paint some flowers over, or the greenery over the doorway. Some greenery in there. Once the background colours dry, we can then add a little bit of detail. Start with the door frame, burnt sienna, cobalt blue and some crimson. So just run that dark colour underneath the top of the door. And down the side of the frame. And here just a dark line to hold that in place. So a little bit darker underneath the top of the door and down this side. Then moving on to the half rigger, same colour, just a little bit darker, and start to paint in some of the woodwork. So there's the bottom of the door, but what I want is an old door, so we just rough this up just a little bit. Put a hinge, so this is some burnt umber, burnt sienna. So we have a rusty hinge going across the door there. Same thing here. Then some blue, crimson and burnt sienna. So it's sort of a bluey, shadowy colour. And what we're going to do here is just tuck that darker colour underneath this rose. So it's casting a shadow down, leave a few bits of sunlight coming through like that. Underneath there. And this shadow will actually fall across the door as well. So just run that colour across the door. So you get that dappled light falling across the doorway and onto the step. And with that shadow colour, you can actually just pick out some of these eggshells just by dropping a shadow colour just underneath some of the stonework, like that. On the gravel, we can use a light colour. This is some yellow ochre and some white. And just drag the brush sideways over the raised beads. And it just picks up on the top of the lava, like so. A bit more white. Just put a little small amount of detail onto the rose. So some hooker's green, olive green, and with the medium detail brush, just paint in a few leaves with a darker colour. That. Some burnt umber with the green, a couple of stems, a lighter colour, just highlight that. Some white with pale olive green. Add just a little bit more detail in, just to break this up a wee bit. And finish off with some flowers, permanent rose and some white. Ever so thick, and just dab it onto the dark background. Right, so there's cadmium red. We'll change that colour to try some yellow with a touch of pink. Some white, make it nice and thick and opaque. And put the lighter colour over the top of the dark. And I think we're done. So when it's finished, a good idea is to varnish it with just some glaze medium, and that will seal the whole lot and give it an even gloss.
Now available to buy. Try these techniques at home whenever you wish. The extended version of today's workshop and the book that accompanies this series are now available to order from the Painting and Drawing channel. For further information and to order your copy, go to www.paintingdrawingchannel.com.